National debt is a silent killer to the economy of many countries of the world. Imagine a newly born child in a nation which is heavily indebted and is said to have a debt of six figures of a leading currency. This seems like a curse for the new individual. Today, I want to persuade you that national debt is everyone's problem. According to the World Bank 2026 report, national debt is the total amount of money a government owes to its creditors, which is normally borrowed from international financial institutions like IMF or other nations. Any government raises its revenue largely through taxation of its citizens and residents. Government is charged with the responsibility of providing public services like building roads, provision of schools, healthcare, maintaining adequate security, and daily administration of public affairs. When revenues received are less than budgeted expenditures of a nation in any financial period, governments borrow funds from elsewhere to meet the budget deficit. As patriotic adult citizens of a prominent nation, you are all expected to be conversant with government policies and guidelines. The constitution of many countries of the world stipulates that all government revenues belong to its citizens. In the same way, debt capital belongs to everyone in the nation. When I was a young boy growing up, I did not know anything about national debt. But after going through high school education, I learned the civic duty of citizens and residents. I now know that all monies, whether in form of revenue, grant, or debt, are received by the government on behalf of its people. As stated by the IMF, this is a clear indication that national debt belongs to everyone in the nation, especially the citizens and residents. Imagine having two citizens of one nation. One lives in a middle-class community setup, whereas the other one is an uneducated homeless person who lives on the streets. Who amongst the two people is best placed to know about the national debt? Of course, the homeless man may be ignorant of the operations of the government, but the national government statistics have got the total debt ratio to all its people. This means the homeless person is responsible for the personal share of national debt as an individual citizen of the affected nation. It is paramount for citizens to know about their obligations to their respective countries. However, a country may borrow funds when compelled to do so to keep the nation running and explain its action later to the citizen. At this point, debt finance becomes a problem to everyone in the nation in equal measures. First, I will explain the major causes of national debt to its citizens and why it is everyone's responsibility. In addition, I will talk about the effects of national debt and why the United States of America is having the highest national debt in the world. Lastly, I will explain the solutions to manage the problem of national debt. One of the major civic duties of citizens of a country is to dutifully pay taxes to run its affairs. The major causes of national debt to its citizens and why it is everyone's responsibility in any given country. According to the US Treasury Fiscal Data 2025, national debt is mainly caused by the first, government overspending during emergency times like wars, natural calamities such as floods and bushfires, change in taxation policies due to change in governance, and unexpected health crisis. Secondly, shortage in revenue collections. And lastly, during the times of economic recession, like the most recent COVID-19, which started in December 2019, and it is yet to be erased from the face of the world. The World Bank states that all causes of national debt are everyone's problem in a country because when an economy weakens, everyone is directly affected through paying high interest fees and cost of goods and services. When government gives poor services, the suffering is felt by everyone. And when heavy debts are passed over to the nation's future generations, the whole country is burdened for many years to come. It is therefore logical to simply state that citizens of a nation have got a share of the nation's surplus revenue as well as its budget deficit. Hence, the national debt is everyone's responsibility. Inadequate revenue collection leads many countries to borrow funds from the domestic and international markets. The effects of national debt and why United States of America is having the highest national debt in the world. As per the Treasury Fiscal Data 2026, the first effect of national debt is that it slows down economic growth of a nation. Once the economy stagnates, inflation follows suit. Coupled with inflation is high bank interest rates, high taxes, which lead to the spiral inflation, which is an economic cycle in which prices go up and workers are forced to demand higher wages. Economic hardship have made the cost of taking care of the old population, especially in the US, to be a tall order. Old age population is rapidly growing due to good healthcare in the United States, but matching revenue to fund this cause is not guaranteed in any given financial year. Due to lack of adequate funds, the government cannot invest in future development projects and maintain enough reserve funds for its emergencies or recession. Lastly, high debt may hinder job creation in the country. All the effects of a national debt affect everyone in society in equal measure, and therefore, it is economically correct to state that national debt is everyone's problem in the nation. IMF January 2026 publication indicates that the United States of America is the world's largest economy with a GDP of about US dollars 32.38 trillion. Likewise, national debt for the US stands at staggering US dollars 39.32 trillion. The said publication projects the US deficit budget in 2027 to be around USD 2 trillion. Nonetheless, given high debt and yearly budget deficits, America, being a superpower, must continuously look for enough funds to fund its national activities and maintain its global status. No country wishes to drop such a status as the one USA enjoys. From having veto powers at the United Nations Assembly to hosting the World Bank and the IMF, superiority in global IT and leading with space scientists, America is populous and must spend largely on security to secure its borders and citizens. For the need to protect sensitive industries of the US like manufacturer of aircraft, computers, phones, vehicles, and pharmaceutical industries, in addition to the America's all-time favorite drink, Coca-Cola. National debt must be acquired in each financial year to bridge the gap and sustain the country's status on behalf of all the Americans. This calls for the acquisition of additional national debt, which is everyone's responsibility that makes America the top international lender. Most countries of the world rely on national debt to smoothly run their governments. Solutions to manage the problem of national debt. The World Bank advises governments on a yearly basis to stop wastages and reduce unnecessary spending. Improvement of tax collection, closing loopholes, and widening tax groups increase revenue. Policies that improve economic growth should be put in place for economic recovery. Government should employ competent personnel to oversee its growth policies through diligent economic planning. Long-term fiscal decisions must result in meaningful tax reductions for the management of investment and economic growth. Citizens should be vigilant on government officials. And finally, routine national elections of new administration should come with more competent and accountable leaders than the previous ones. Proper management of government revenues and national debt results in the prosperity and economic growth of a nation. To conclude, I have informed you about the causes of national debt, its effects on the nation and citizens, and solutions to manage the problem of national debt. National debt is the responsibility of everyone in the nation. The government, on behalf of its citizens, borrows money to fund the programs that are meant to improve the economy and carry out investments for the future generations' prosperity. The national debt for any country should not be solely seen as a government expenditure, but rather as an expense for everyone. Any government serves its people equally, and it is in this respect that any financial commitment by the government is a service to all its people. And everyone has got the responsibility to own this kind of action. There is need for all citizens, individual taxpayers, and corporations to have adequate education on national debt. This is important because any fiscal policies implemented today affect the future of a nation in many years to come. Any questions from the audience? It looks there are none, and thank you for your attendance and listening. Thank you.
Thank you.